I'm Nancy Drew. Since you can tell a lot about a person by where he or she lives, I thought I'd introduce myself by showing you my room. This must have been made by the explosion I heard. That's weird. The rock that had the fossil in it is gone. It is really, really cold out here. Ah, warm again.
Hello?
Miss Camillo, hi, it's Nancy Drew from Icicle Creek Lodge.
Yes, hello. Is the wolf all right?
Well, Ollie hasn't succeeded in shooting or trapping it yet, if that's what you mean. But I'm not going to tell you any more until you tell me who you really are.
All right. I'm a member of Run and Grow Free. As you may or may not know, that's an organization dedicated to the protection of wild animals. I went to the lodge to make sure nothing happened to that wolf. See, we're trying desperately to arrange to have it captured and transported to a sanctuary. But so far, all the ones we've contacted are full. And unless and until we find a place for it, all we can do is try to protect it. Now tell me more about the contact you've had with the wolf.
After I was buried by an avalanche, it dug a hole in the snow so I could escape.
It may have sensed you were in trouble, or its behavior may have been totally random. But either way, the fact that the wolf didn't simply run away from you is very bad news.
It is?
Wolves and humans simply do not mix. While wolves may appear to be similar to dogs, behaviors that have been bred out of dogs after thousands of years of domestication are still instinctive to wolves. Training a wolf to behave like a dog may mask those instincts, but it cannot eradicate them. For that reason, no matter how sociable the wolf may appear, instinct can at any moment rear its ugly head with devastating results for any humans involved and for the wolf. Especially for the wolf, who will have simply been doing what comes naturally.
So the fact that this wolf doesn't seem to be that afraid of people could lead people to think they don't have to be afraid of it.
Precisely. It could make them forget that all wolves are, first and foremost, wild. And while we're on the subject, do not ever give in to the temptation to feed the wolf. For one thing, a wolf's jaws are twice as powerful as a German shepherd's, and should your hand happen to get in its way when it tries to feed?
I get the picture.
For another thing, making the wolf dependent upon you for food would seal its doom. It sounds strange, Nancy, but the very best thing you can do for that wolf is nothing.
Are you the one who wrecked all the gear that was in the fishing shack?
Yes, that was me. I was afraid that Bill Kessler fellow would encounter the wolf on one of his trips out to the shack, and that it would end badly for the wolf. So I did a number on his equipment. I've done worse while working on behalf of Run and Grow Free. Believe me.
When you were here at the lodge, how come you had a magazine that featured Yanni Volkstaya in your room?
You're very observant. I read the article thinking he might make a good spokesperson for Run and Grow Free. But then I actually talked to him. At which point I realized that not only is he a raving egomaniac, but he's appallingly superstitious when it comes to wolves. I put an abrupt end to that conversation. I was afraid he might try to tell me that wolves had eaten his grandmother or something.
You know, actually, never mind. Why can't the group you belong to just capture the wolf, take it out to the middle of nowhere, and let it go?
Because unfortunately, there's really no such place as nowhere anymore. We humans are, or can be, everywhere. Plus, wolves can travel great distances. Contact with humans would be inevitable. And since this wolf has obviously lost its fear of humans, it would be an easy target for anyone prone to shoot first and ask questions later. No, a sanctuary is the only place where it would be truly safe.
Aren't there any government agencies that can take care of the wolf?
For the most part, and especially up there, wolves are considered to be pests. If a government agency got involved, it would take care of the wolf all right, permanently.
It gets so cold here at night. Will the wolf be okay?
Not only are wolves built to withstand cold temperatures, but they know instinctively what to do to survive in extreme conditions. If they didn't, they would have disappeared from the earth eons ago.
Why didn't you just come out and tell the people at Icicle Creek Lodge that you were there to protect the wolf?
Because I assumed, and quite correctly as it turns out, that very few people there would be sympathetic to my cause. Had I not been undercover, they may have tried to foil my efforts. Instead, I was able to foil theirs. For a while, at least.
Did you ever hear any explosions while you were staying at Icicle Creek Lodge?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I heard several.
Do you have any idea what caused them?
My first thought was that Ollie had completely lost it and was going after the wolf with explosives. But when I realized that even he wasn't that stupid, I assumed it was someone clearing an avalanche or a downed tree or something. While we're on the subject of explosions, did anyone ever figure out what made the bunkhouse blow up like that?
The sheriff says it was plastic explosives.
Wow, that's serious. No offense, but it sounds to me like instead of hiring a new maid, the owner of the lodge should have hired herself a detective.
Yeah. I need to get back to work.
Thanks for calling. Oh, and from now on, call me Lupe. I think you've earned that right. Hello?
Hi, it's Nancy Drew.
I'm glad you called. Ollie tells me Guadalupe Camillo checked out.
Actually, it was more like Ollie threw her out.
Well, good riddance, right? I mean, he said she was an environmental nut job. In fact, he said he wouldn't be surprised if she's the one who caused those accidents and blew up the bunkhouse.
I don't think so.
You don't. I was hoping I could tell my lawyers that the case is closed and come home.
I still have to come up with proof.
Oh, that. Well, the lodge is probably better off without her in any case. Although she did pay for her stay in advance, and in cash. Cash is good. Oh well. Anything else to report?
Did you know that Ollie is building a trap to catch the wolf that's been hanging around?
No, but he told me he'd been having trouble shooting it, so good for him. Whatever it takes to get rid of it.
But why does he need to get rid of it? It's not hurting anything.
It's freaking out my guests, which means it's hurting my bottom line, especially on top of everything else that's been happening.
But why not, say, call a wolf sanctuary and have them come and take the wolf away? That would certainly be more humane.
Look, Ollie's had a lot of experience with varmints or whatever he calls them, so I have to assume that he knows best. In fact, I think he used to hunt wolves for food. Or was that bears? Ugh, lions, tigers, bears, wolves, they're all a huge insurance risk for someone in my business. So I don't care how Ollie does it. I just want that wolf gone. ASAP.
You'll hear from me again later.
Don't let me down, okay? Hello?
Hi, it's Nancy Drew.
Did you ask Yanni about using his picture yet?
Yes, but he said no.
Darn. Well, thanks for trying.
I think I'm onto something, but I desperately need snowshoes. Could you give me the combination to the lock on the display case so I could use the ones in there?
I certainly can, but I'm not going to until you do something for me.
Sure.
I'm going to fax you a survey that Tino came up with. He says you're to fill most of it out by observing the people staying at the lodge, rather than just asking them the questions outright. He says that would put them on their guard. When it's all filled out, fax it to Tino. The results will help him come up with a profile that will help you to determine which of our guests is responsible for the accidents.
Sounds good.
Excellent. I'm faxing it to you even as we speak. In fact, it's done. So why don't you go get it right now? I'll wait.
Great. I just hope the questions aren't too dumb. Got it.
Good. Now remember, when you're done filling it out, fax it directly to Tino. And he wants you to call him before you do so he can turn his machine on.
That's it for now.
Answers, Nancy. I need answers.
How can I help you?
Would you mind telling me what planet you most identify with?
Pluto.
Actually, Pluto's not a planet anymore.
That is exactly the point. Pluto stirs up passion and controversy, yet it continues undaunted on its course, as do I. Pluto and I, we are as brothers.
That's all for now.
Kavichinaya.
Hello?
Hi, Lupe. this is Nancy Drew again.
Is everything all right?
The wolf's fine. I just have some questions.
Like what?
This is going to sound like a really weird question, but from what side of the bed do you usually get up?
Why in the world do you want to know that?
Oh, please don't try to make me explain.
Well, it's a harmless question, I suppose. Let's see. I get up on my left side.
If I were to ask you which planet you most identify with, which one would you say?
Earth. No, wait. Make that Venus. No, Earth. No, actually Venus. No, Earth. No offense, dear, but that's a very silly question.
Tell me about it. That's it for now.
Feel free to call me anytime. Bye.
What's up?
I was just wondering, what planet do you most identify with?
Planet X.
I'm sorry, I meant in our solar system.
Planet X?
But there is no Planet X.
There will be.
So you identify with Planet X.
Planet X. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
Nice talking to you.
Ditto, dude.
Hello again.
I know this is going to sound like a strange question, but what planet do you most identify with?
I guess it would be Mars. You know, that whole God of War thing?
I should have known. I'd better get going.
Okie dokie.
Call 1555 Mystico and prepare to be amazed.